Okay, next thing for me to start playing with, working on, is this board that I just got off eBay. It was advertised as a dual VIC Gremlin board with Invenso and heads on or head on it, and it's not that. It's a Carnival. I guess I should have known from the pictures because of the ROM numbers, but this is going to be a Carnival. There's some damage to the board that I've got to repair. It's also missing the dip switch bank here. I don't know if that's important enough to have to replace or install, but I've got some broken components here and there. Capacitors, resistors. I really need to take a really close look and see what else is broke, but I'm going to replace all of the pieces that I see that are broke, and then fire it up and see if it works. These are 2708s. They require -12, +12, and +5, and I'm sorry, they require -5, +5, and +12 and ground. Sorry, that's what they need, no -12. So I have those voltages on my power supply right there. And so I should be able to test this. And I did go ahead and already check these. If you ever work on any of the on these old boards like this, especially the Carnivals, the Dual VICs, make sure you check these blobs here. These are tantalum capacitors. They will short first. Those are usually what will fail. If it's going to be a component like a capacitor or something, these capacitors will short and you know, blow a fuse or draw the voltage down, whatever, to keep the board from working. These guys here will also be bad. The 2708s, they kind of suck. So I will be designing another board that will replace all of these and plug in with the CPU. I did the similar thing on the original heads-up board, which is different than this. It's similar, but actually quite a bit different. Uses the same processor and it uses the same types of RAM, but that's about all that's similar. Also only has one row of ROMs. So I already have a board for that, but it will not work in this board because this has twice as much memory addressing for the ROMs. So that's got to be designed as a separate board. All right, well, that's enough of me rambling. Let me get started on this. Okay, so I've done all the repairs that I was going to do. I replaced all the broken capacitors. I replaced all the tantalum capacitors with electrolytics. Let's see, what else did I do? That is about it. I did check to make sure all the chips were pointing in the right direction. So let's turn it on and see what happens. It don't work. Got garbage on the screen. So that means I'm going to have to do some probing. Let me start by reseeding all the ROM chips and just see if that makes a difference. I'll be back. I don't really understand it, but all of these RAM chips are corroded. These sockets are going to have to be replaced, all of them, all 8 of them. The chips are also very corroded, I guess the word. I can't get my hand out of the way. There we go. Yeah, the pins need to be cleaned on these, and I need to test these chips. I'll dig out the retro chip tester and test those. I wouldn't be surprised if at least half of them are bad. Usually you have at least one bad on those, and the symptoms that we were getting could be a bad RAM because the RAM and the video are shared. I should say the program RAM and the video are all in these chips. So I'm going to pull all these sockets and replace them. I'm just going to replace them. That's going to take a while, but everything else looks really clean. Like the VIC chip socket, which is right next to it, has no problems. It looks really nice. This one looks nice. All the EEPROM ones look nice. So maybe I should look at this. I think this is a PROM. Not sure. I have to look it up, but I think that's a PROM. So let me pull it, and if that socket is looking kind of crusty, I'll replace it too. All right, so I went ahead and decided to clean all the pins on the RAMs. Well, as I was cleaning one of them, actually the very last one of the pins broke off. So I was just going to comment on how I add a new pin to it. So there's enough room there, enough metal left to where I put a blob of solder. I don't know if you can really see it, but there's a blob of solder in there. I just put that on there. And I have this tucked under a chip on the board so that it kind of holds it in place for me. So now I'll be able to take a pin off of an old chip, which this is the candidate I have here. An old chip that is burned out or obsolete or something that I can't use or won't use. And I'll rip off another pin. You can see I've done this before. I'll rip off another pin and I'll just solder it on there. Now before I take the pin to try to apply it, I will add solder to it. I'll remove it from this, and then I'll put a little bit of solder on the back side and then mate the two and heat it up, and it will just kind of stick. Alright, so here's the ram that I had broken the pin off, so I got it soldered on. It doesn't look like it's perfectly lined up, but it's going to be good enough. Looking at it from this angle, there might be a crack in there, huh? Alright, well, I'm going to dig out the retro chip tester now and test these and see how many are bad. I'll be right back. Okay, retro chip tester has spoken. We had 5 good ones and 3 bad ones. And one of the bad ones was the pin, had the pin that was broken that I've soldered a new pin on. It was bad. This one almost passed. It got almost all the way through, but then it failed. So I got to dig up 3 of those. This board had a variety of different RAMs. It had TI 4027s. It had, let's see, what is this? I think these are MOSTEC. Can't tell. 4096s. I think those are MOSTECs. And it had 4015s, also MOSTEC, 4015s. So 5 good ones, 3 bad ones, and I should have a number of these laying around somewhere. I just got to find them. But that's going to be it for this video. When I return to this, I will be replacing these, but it's getting late in the night, so I'm going to go ahead and stop for today. And there'll be a video in the future, obviously, to continue this. But yeah, this is normal to have multiple of these bad. You know, I had 3, almost half of them. And I can almost guarantee at least one of these is going to be bad. And I don't have any way to program a 2708 currently. So all I can do is solution around it, put a more modern EEPROM in, and that will take time. So anyway, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching.